You're watching Soccer Night in Detroit.
Welcome. It's me, Hannah Crum, with two legends.
Okay, me, Steve.
Steve.
And Mad Cat.
And Mad Cat.
This guy right here. Every time you score, he has to play this song for you every time, every single time. David, he appears. I believe in Derek. Let's go.
All right, welcome to another thrilling midweek edition of the Musings. Mad Cat here in the hacienda known in Fenton, Michigan, and of course, everything looked like we had pretty much everything good to go. Maybe a little coaching announcement here and there from Detroit City FC, announcement of training camp starting and all that stuff, and then.
Well, like you said, I had everything planned. I went out yesterday to take the picture of the Michigan 20th building, and unfortunately it was a nothing burger. I'm sorry to say. Still there, but they're doing a best to clear up. I had everything planned, and one of the subjects we were going to talk about is 1 year ago they made the big announcement, the USL, the league we play in, made the big announcement that they were going to plan a Division I league. And originally, we were going to talk about any who teams have stepped up, who declared for Division I, because things have been a little quiet until 9 a.m. this morning.
Till 9 a.m. this morning, I'm going to refer to an article in Sports Business Journal for this one that I did share with you.
USL already came with an announcement with graphs. Oh, yeah.
Yes. So Alex Silverman writes in Sports Business Journal, USL revealed new details about the Division I Men's Professional Soccer League and promotion and relegation system it plans to launch, including that it's now eyeing 2028 launch date, and that the top division will be known as USL Premier. Big surprise there. The target is
USL Premier. It's sort of, I don't want to say generic because everybody have used the word Premier, like Premier League in darts, and there's about, I think, 20 other Premier Leagues in the world that use the word Premier.
There's a Midwest Premier League.
Most famous the UK Premier League. So
yeah, but let's see. The target is to ultimately have 20 teams in each of its top two divisions, plus the third division with an unspecified number. But USL President Paul McDonough told Sports Business Journal that he's realistically aiming to have 14 teams participate in the inaugural USL Premier season. Of course, as
why
you know,
14 teams? Why 14 teams? It's two more than the minimum to start a league, 12.
Right, minimum is 12. As far as pro league standards goes, USL McDonough says targeting 14 teams leaves a little bit of room for potential hiccups along the way, which could mean stadium capacity issues because you have to have a 15,000 seat stadium in order to compete or declare yourselves a Division I team, and also there's also the threshold of being in a market where the metropolitan area must be over 1,000. Those are things that have to be ironed out before this can take place.
Mm-hmm.
So, still there's a lot of hurdles that are left to be done. And right now it's 2026, so we're talking 2 years from now.
You're right. And that is 2028 is a better start time than because they were eyeing 2027, but you got a little room now, almost a year and a half or 2 years to iron out your Premier League. And from what I read in the press release, that it will be only a single table, no East, no West, just one table. Same thing for Division 2.
Same with Championship.
Yes, it will be a single table. Don't know how the quote promotion up and down. There will be a second level, but they didn't say how many teams from League One could go up. Because they're not saying it's going to be regional play, and that's a little bit of a problem. What if you have 2 or 3 regions or 4 regions, and there are champions?
Well, that'll be figured out because of if they're going to do it regionalized, and they're going to take some teams from that, maybe like they'll separate into 3 regions or something of that. Like take 3 teams, like the top teams from each region to join into like the championship level or whatever it is. Kind of like a system that they do in Germany, I believe. There's like the 2 divisions of Bundesliga, and then there's like a regionalized division. There's regionalized divisions underneath, which is your third division.
I did not know that. I only recognize the Bundesliga as 1 and 2, but the original Bundesliga.
The one below that, the one below, the level below that is Division 3, and that's where your regionalized divisions come in.
I am going to look at the standings. Very interesting. So there is possibility they could take it from that league. Who knows?
So McDonough also said we have to have 12. So I think the goal for us would be 14. That gives a little breathing room for something happening with a stadium or just some unforeseen issues. We want to try to make sure that we build it properly. Of those 14 top-level clubs, McDonough expects 8 or 9 of them to be existing Division II teams from the USL Championship. Now, they put a list out of 5 that are pretty much confirmed. Detroit City being one of them. Louisville, they announced on their socials that they are intending on being one of those teams to apply as well. Pittsburgh applying with the new stadium and whatnot. From what I understand, Miami, the Homestead Project being another potential area, and Sacramento as well.
Yes, those have been lawfully goals. Sacramento in construction of their new stadium, Detroit City, Incidentally, I mentioned that I took a picture of it, still there. Right now they're moving the asbestos from the building. So, and then we're going to wait for warmer water so they could do deconstruction of the building before they build up Alumni 5 Field. Miami, yeah, that's a great question. Can you play in the second division Premier League in the shadow of Inter Miami, the current MLS champion? Louisville, no brainer. They've been top everything. And who would that? Pittsburgh. Detroit, Pittsburgh. Yeah, I mentioned them all. Yeah. And then from the same article, they were going to say they could fill out the rest of the teams with teams outside the USL, either teams that are so willing to make the jump or
willing to buy in. Yeah, willing to buy in. So that's another question there. And of course, there's a lot of hurdles that have to be left to be done as far as that goes. One would be working with U.S. Soccer to reform the Pro League standards. Obviously with stadium requirements and all that stuff, because it's set at 15,000. But as far as the other requirements go, we've mentioned before territorial rights. I got this article from Twitter. A guy from Chattanooga posted it, and of course, the documented what's been going down there with Chattanooga. Utah Bob coming in, bringing in the Red Wolves and all that stuff, pretty much blocking Chattanooga FC from joining USL. So they ended up joining MLS Next Pro.
Yeah, that league. Huh.
That league. So basically, there's plenty of possibilities there. But here's the deal. Here's another example from the article. We have teams that excel on the field and do well from a P&L standpoint and sustainability wise, but they can't, and it doesn't make sense to them to build 15,000 seats. So it's counterproductive to grow the game if that's a requirement. So that's one issue that they're looking to push aside.
And here's another issue. There's a lot of teams in the current USLC championship that doesn't have a 15,000 seat. Patriot Point Park, perfect example. They could only hold 5,000, and they sell out to join well, literally. Loudoun United, same thing, 5,000.
San Antonio's looking. If they were looking to expand, depending on the ownership group, that's a small venue. That has like 13,000 seats or whatever it is. LA
2,000.
Field down in Tampa. That's a
Yes.
small venue as well, and it's hard to expand on that venue as well.
So either they could get a waiver from U.S. Soccer, say, well, we can't afford a 15,000 seat stadium. Please step stadium is, or making plans to build a 15,000 seat stadium according to the professional league standards. So.
Another important element will be nailing down the economics of promotion and relegation. In one sense, it's a simpler proposition than in major European systems where teams who are relegated suffer massive revenue shortfalls and count on parachute payments to soften the blow. USL, however, must contend with the opposite issue, how to ensure the ascending teams can handle the increased costs of operating a Division One team, such as increased player salaries without a guarantee of more revenue from a national TV or a robust league level sponsorship. And of course, we know the facts of the TV deal. That's mainly going to the league office, not so much to the clubs.
Mm-hmm.
So, in contrast, let's look at what the union has to say about it. Now, the union.
What do the union have to say about it?
Oh yeah, the union immediately had something to say about it. This is from the USL players on Instagram. USL League headquarters announced the new Division One league structure today, USL Premier League. In the same breath, Alec Papadakis, USL CEO and owner, said, it creates a strong foundation of players while unlocking meaningful opportunities for stakeholders and investors. Let's be clear. This is from the union, by the way, about who those investors are. The owners of the league headquarters, including Alex Papadakis. This announcement is about unlocking opportunities for themselves. And while Papadakis claims to be building a strong foundation of players are literally sitting across the table from them, fighting for health care, livable wages, and year-round contracts. A little tone deaf, don't you think?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
If this league actually cared about its players, these professional standards would already exist. The league is promoting itself as a major league without the true professional standards. It's no more than a house of cards. This isn't a foundation. It's a business plan, powered by subpar contracts, missing projections, and players left to absorb the consequences.
Wow.
Yeah, so, they're basically counteracting what the USL... And it's basically what it boils down to is USL's got these big ambitions, but are the players being taken care of in the long run?
That's a good story because, like I said, they're still trying to nail down a CBA for the USL Champions League. Eventually, when the first division is set up, the USL Premier, I have to say that now, will they negotiate a new first one for that league, the upper tier?
The thing is, it's got to come down. I mean, there's things that's got to be. Things have got to be uniform as far as that goes. When I talk to them, they're talking about separate negotiations with the separate leagues at this point. Okay? Mm-hmm. A separate contract negotiation for USL Championship. A separate contract negotiation for USL League One. I'm sure there's going to be a separate contract negotiation for the USL, for the USL Premier League as well. So
eventually.
Yeah, exactly. Connor Tobin told me that these are separate negotiations amongst the two leagues. And what the league is doing, they're trying to think bigger picture. And I wouldn't say outside the box, but they're thinking bigger picture and their own bigger ambitions instead of the ambitions of what the players want themselves. So a lot of this makes sense when when you're looking at the aspect of the player side of things. Is okay, great. You have these ambitions of a pro rel structure with a first division, second division, third division type deal, but how are we going to be compensated for this in the long run?
Good question.
And if you're doing this under the league standards that you have now, how is this going to apply in the future?
Good question, because you mentioned that the bigger league get a lot of television contract money from Sky Sports in England and other various networks over in Europe. Here in the U.S., not so much. The big league get a lot of money for their team, and they don't do promotional allocation. You're taking a risk doing promotional allocation, although the TV contracts for lower than MLS, it's not good. We have a contract with CBS Sports, ESPN. Who knows what the new contract will be when this whole thing kicks off? And the big question, if you don't have a television contract that's big enough like in England, how are you going to separate when team goes up and down between Premier, Champion, and League One? I'm not sure.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say at this point. It really is. But
Yeah.
it really is hard to say at this point. But when you think about, it's a lot of. A lot of things have to be figured out from here on out. And obviously, we know we got players coming back into camps this week, or players coming back into camps. Detroit City started their camp yesterday. They
I saw that on YouTube.
Yep,
I saw that on YouTube.
Yep, they started their camp yesterday, so they're back in. They're back in training. So a lot of these teams right now, as far as the thing goes, a lot of people are talking, and I'm getting it on the Facebook page. I thought they were on strike. They're not on strike. There's no strike. There's no work stoppage to be. USL can't afford it. The players can't afford it. So there's no work stoppage at this point.
No, neither side can't afford it because we're trying to work up momentum that the World Cup, a trouble World Cup, is being played this year. So we can't lose any momentum.
And that would be a black eye on USL.
Yeah, you're right.
It would be a black eye on both USL and the Players Association if it came to an impasse such as that. So nothing has been nothing. There's no drop dead date or anything of that nature to figure out a contract. That's still got to be worked out. That's still got to be worked out. It's still going to be a work in progress, mind you. They are still upholding the
old CBA.
The terms of the last
CBA. Yes.
So they're still upholding the whatever was figured out in the last deal. Those are still in play. As far as player contracts are concerned, and compensation and all that stuff. The same stuff applies from the old contract.
I know.
For that point,
It's going to be very interesting, and it's going to be very interesting 2 years, the ramp up to the last 2 seasons of the league. We now know it now, but it's going to change a lot. And here's another question, and it wasn't mentioned in the press release. What about playoffs? Could we see a situation?
They didn't say anything about playoffs there. This is a fluid situation.
You're right. And if you ever watch European football, you probably know there is no playoff tree near the end of the regular season. That's it. Whoever wins the most points between 34, 38 games like they do in the Premier League, whoever has the most points, the title is yours. That's it.
Yeah, and in the and then of course it's the lower divisions that would have like playoffs for like their second, or was it third through ninth in the championship in the EFL. They would have their promotional playoffs, and then they would decide who would be that third team who would get promoted into the top league.
Getting that lucky ticket, although seeing a championship league, which they go up to the Premier League, there's no cardboard golden ticket, unfortunately. Just here's the trophy. Congratulations. Kick them in the Premier League.
So, but yep, definitely a story we will be following as we go along throughout the season, as it keeps on developing one way or another. One thing that is developing, we did mention that Detroit City went back into the Training mode this week. Practices began at City Fieldhouse yesterday. They also announced that they have a new assistant coach.
Yeah, there is not a new player, a new assistant coach. Welcome to Detroit as the new assistant to Danny Dicchio's staff, Philip DeSantos. He's the new coach. He's been coaching for almost 15 years. He has a great resume. He was an assistant coach in the NASL version 2.0 with Ottawa Fury, Fort Lauderdale Strikers, and the San Francisco Deltas in their one and only season. And remember, they're the last champion of version 2.0 of the NASL. Other clubs, he was an assistant for Indy 11 and the Vancouver Whitecaps. Just finished a 4-year stint with Velour FC out of Winnipeg that did play in the Canadian Premier League. He was okay. He won 27% of his matches, going 26 wins, 25 draws, 46 losses, and now going to be the main man for Coach Dicchio in his third season. Reaction.
I'm not going to take the fact that, okay, the time he served at Velour FC, I'm not going to. It's like, you know, the whole thing about the Lions' new offensive coordinator, right?
Yeah.
Coming from Arizona, and you know, it's like,
He was on our
they had
radar.
a bad record. I'm throwing that record out the window.
Okay.
Is he going to be able to work with Danny? Is he able to get the guys, you know, help out with increasing goal scoring? Solidifying the defense, solidifying the goalkeeping, you know, type deal. Is it going to translate into more goals, into more wins for Detroit City? That will remain to be seen. So you can't really take his experience from another job to, shall we say, apply that to Detroit City and judge it whether it's good or bad. What do you think about it? Same what whatever happened happened. Different type of players played in Arizona for the new offensive coordinator for the Lions. Different type of players than what they have here in Detroit. Same deal there. Different type of player at Velour FC than it is at Detroit City FC. And we got a few. I was gonna say we got a few stars here ourselves.
You're right about that.
I mean,
fan favorite like Maxey and Darren Smith and Offit Juice and Devin Mesa. So could be a different beats. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it could work out, and it all depends on the relationships that you have with those players themselves. You know, I mean, can he work well with the players themselves and get them to do their maximum best performance out on the pitch? And that, you know what, that is the ultimate judgment. And of course, obviously, it revolves around wins, losses, and points and all that stuff. So, I mean, right now, you know, like I said, it remains to be seen. Obviously, welcome him here. You know, we'll see. You know, like I said, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
And of course, it also fills the role because the assistant coach that was with Danny last year left for another job himself.
I know.
So,
I know. Well, like I said, they almost have about 2 months to get ready. Don't forget the preseason coming up, and before the big home opener, their first home opener opening up at home on March 14th. And then today was announced 3 days later, U.S. Open Cup play, a keyword.
yes, and personally, I'm disappointed because I was hoping it would be the Flint City Bucks. But as it turns out, it is NPSL side Michigan Rangers that will be taking on Detroit City FC at Keyworth on St. Patrick's Day.
March
17th, 7:30 p.m. kickoff at Keyworth Stadium for that match game. You can see on YouTube, obviously, once tickets go on sale for that. Make sure you get those tickets at SeatGeek.com and the Detroit City box office and all that stuff over in Capital Park.
It is always fun with the U.S. Open Cup at Keyword. It's going to be probably more special because I don't know how many games, considering that we're already in the last season of Keyword Stadium. So
Exactly. It's going to be one of the, it's always a fun time. U.S. Open Cup games are always fun and all that stuff, and it's another competition, I mean, one that MLS has shunned, one that's basically kind of downsized this year due to the World
the World
Cup,
Cup.
and they had
Yeah.
to get rid of a round. So
Uh-huh.
basically, with the the 16 MLS clubs going into round 3 this year, there's only a few MLS clubs or MLS Next Pro clubs that are in the competition. Those being, of course, Chattanooga FC. I believe there's a couple others as well that are also participating. I don't have their names at the moment, nor like I'm going to look them up either because,
Well,
but
your team, the Flint City Bucks, who we were hoping to play in round 1, they're going to play League One side for Madison in your neck of the wood 2 days later.
I might be tempted to go see that match.
Okay.
I
Well,
might be tempted. I might be tempted to go see that match. It's only a half hour away.
but half hour away. I was about to say, how far is it from your back cave, by the way? I have to
Yeah,
ask.
like I said, it's about a half hour away, so it's not that far.
Is it
It's
in downtown Flint or
downtown Grand Blanc.
Grand Blanc? I
Yeah,
know.
yeah. They'll be playing at the high school there.
Okay. All
Yeah, the
right.
high
Well,
school's
I
right
do
off
have
us.
a couple of highlights of 2 matches. You can see the whole schedule on the U.S. Soccer website or the USL Championship guide. How about this for a
US
matchup?
US Open Cup .us, I think it is. Open
Yes,
Cup
U.S. You're right.
.us.
How about this for an Open Cup matchup? The defending League Two champion Vermont Green will travel to Maine to face on Portland Hearts of Pride.
That should be interesting, especially with the fan bases of both of those clubs. I mean,
Oh,
Vermont Green's fan base is one of those fan bases that is, oh my God, what can you say about it? I mean they're very loyal to the end. And Portland Hearts of Pine, to their defense, they're a pretty loyal fan base as well.
yeah, I met one of them. She's the lead singer of the band Weaker Friends, and I saw she was wearing a Portland Tiger Pie. Didn't notice until I went to pick up a couple of CDs at the birth table. I remember that really well. But hey, Vermont Green, remember when they won the Division League Two championship last year? It was big news in Burlington, Vermont. A
It,
small,
it got to
small,
the it got to the point where
yeah.
Bernie Sanders was in full support of what was going on over there.
Oh yeah, the one and only Bernie Sanders. Yes. And one more thing, everybody's favorite club, El Burrito, which is sponsored by a taco stand in
San
the
Francisco.
general, yeah, San Francisco. They drew the Sacramento Republic. That game will be on March 18th.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Sacramento Republic. Oh, did they beat them once before?
Yes, well, well, Sacramento Republic had their matchup. They beat them 1-0. You know, but you know what I'm hoping for this year? Some of our lower level teams in the USL and lower do better this year than last year because remember the disaster that was round 3 where almost every other club except for the team that went the farthest and won the league championship last year, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, all fell.
Speaking of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, one of their contributors to that championship goes elsewhere. He goes to the Hartford Athletic.
Yes,
Big move there.
yes, he said he was not going to be back in Pittsburgh, and the wheel of fortune round the go, and yes, he goes up north to Hartford,
That's a big move. That's a big move for them. That's a big
and
move for
a
them.
real
I think
big
they're I
move.
think they're serious after winning the what is now known as the Tire Cup now.
The
After
U.S. Open
after winning
Cup,
that,
sponsored by Rudy Tires. Yeah.
yeah. When he after yeah, I think they're making a swing to try to make a top 8 finish in the qualify for the playoffs, and adding Augie Williams to that lineup is a huge move.
Big, huge move there.
Yep.
Yeah, not to be outdown, Ronald Damas, who played for Birmingham United on loan last year, he signed for the club full time, so he will be playing with the Birmingham Legion FC. I said Birmingham United. My bad. Sorry.
They need a lot. I mean, they need a lot of good news down there. A lot of those players have not been, it's rough times down there in Birmingham as far as that goes. I mean, I wouldn't say another Birmingham standout, but yeah, Damus was former Golden Boot winner and should provide a little bit more offense to that squad down there, and hopefully, get them out of the doldrums. I mean, they ended up getting the wooden spoon last year.
Yeah, that wooden spoon. I know.
So, I
And
mean,
I have
real
to
big.
Yes, I have to mention about two Martin signing, kind of similar because they used to play for Detroit City FC. Now they have found a new club, Lawrence Kittu, who played for City in 2024. He was a free agent. He signed with the Charleston Battery.
Yep. So he'll be joining that squad on Ben Pierman down there in Charleston. Let's see, what was the other one?
The other one is James Murphy. He also played for Detroit in 2024. He left. He was dropped. He went to the Indy 11 last year. Now he's going to play for Loudoun United.
Yep, and like I said, that's a squad that was up and coming last year under Ryan Martin. So we'll see what happens now with the new coach in tow there. One signing though. One player, though, that is not going to be on the board.
Who?
Cal Jennings.
Yeah. He still haven't found a team?
Guess where he's going?
Wait a minute, is this breaking news?
No. It's not
going?
really breaking news, but he's going to the J League. He's going to play in Japan.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Do you know what team? By the way, I'm not versed on my J League.
I'm looking that up right now, but yeah, Jennings goes to the. I had the article. Let's see here. I had the article, and he will be playing for J3 leagues side FC Ryaku.
In the third division of the J League?
Yep.
Oh my God. He played almost won the Golden Globe today. I don't know what happened. Couldn't find a team said, okay, I'm going to hold myself
Well, he is 48 years old, though, but yeah, I mean, it is kind of weird. It's kind of weird that he didn't find a home someplace else, but he's gonna play in the J League Division 3
and probably hone his skills. Maybe.
Pretty much. So best of luck to him.
Next year he signs with Tampa Bay. Yeah, except if he signs to Tampa Bay or Lexington or Louisville.
Yeah,
he can make a big flat sign with us at our first season at Alumni 5 Field.
But best of luck to him as he goes on his future endeavors. But oh my God, what a wild weekend we had in the Premier League! Oh my God,
and there is no excuse because college football is over. The NFL have finally got their final 2 teams. It's all football all the way until the end of May.
Soccer all the way till the end of May, pretty much. But yeah, wild weekend in the Premier League, as you know. Oh God, I mean, just the marquee game of the weekend was on Sunday, and that was between Manchester United and Arsenal.
This
Manchester.
was a good game, by the way. Saw the second half, following along while getting my Arizona IT newspapers, and holy God, this game was great, especially in the second half. The first half was pretty good, right?
Yeah, it was. First goal. Martinez with the own goal in
Uh,
the 29th minute. Then Embuemo equalized in the 37th minute. Then it got a little interesting at the outset. United took the lead on a Dorgu goal in the 50th minute.
yeah, that was a really good goal, by the way.
Yeah,
Seemed a lot.
Marino in the 84th minute of play for Arsenal equalized this, and we thought this one was going to go draw. However, in the
Yeah,
87th
and
minute,
that goal was a little weird because it hit a couple Manchester United player near the goal line, and then they had a second attempt and it went over the line. The referee had to check his watch, say, "Hey, it's good. The players knew it was good, but that was good." Like I said, the whole ball had to go to the whole net. They didn't use VHR. It was a good goal.
and then in the 87th minute, Matheus Cunha gets the game winner for Man United. Man United has topped the top two teams in the Premier League in back-to-back weeks.
I'm going to say this right now. That goal that won it for Manchester United was a total screamer.
So, needless to say, right now, looking at the table,
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal on top with 50 points. Man City with 46 points. Aston Villa with 46 points. Man United is sitting in the fourth spot right now, ahead of Chelsea by 1 point.
And by the way, guess
And
who's
Liverpool
also
by
happy
2.
that Man United won? That
Huh?
kid who had grown his hair out for the last year and a half, saying he would not cut his hair until they won 5 in a row. He's almost halfway there, but this Sunday it's going to be a difficult game because guess who they're facing off? 7th place Fulham. Very key.
And this is the problem with Manchester United. They rise up to the occasion when it comes to teams like a Liverpool, a Man City, an Arsenal, a Chelsea, one of the big six clubs for the most part. But when it comes to teams like Fulham, West Ham, Everton, mid-table clubs, they have a little trouble with their next three opponents. Obviously, Fulham being the next one. That's coming up this Sunday. Yes.
Sunday, 9 a.m.
Yep. And then the following week they host Tottenham. Yeah, the following week they host Tottenham, and then after that they travel to West Ham. And all of a sudden, West Ham's starting to figure out something.
Yeah, and that will decide if he's gonna get his haircut or not. You know what I mean? Because West Ham will be
he said 5. They have to win 5 in a row.
5 in a row, yeah. Not unbeaten in 5 like early this year with their former manager, but 5 in a row.
They have to win 5 games, so 15 points.
You're right. And the new manager, by the way, have won his first 2 games with them, which is amazing, by the way.
Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did the same thing too, and he got the vote of confidence and ended up staying. The next thing you know, he stayed a couple of years and ended up getting sacked himself. So, big thing coming up this afternoon with the Champions League. This is the last day of the group stage or the league phase or whatever it is in the Champions League, and there's a lot of stories to talk about there.
Okay.
So, obviously, look at the Champions League situation right now. Okay. Arsenal on top. They take on Kariat Almaty in their final game today. Shall we say, yeah, it's a gimme. They're tied with, yeah. If they win, and right now with the goal differential, right now it's a +5 goal differential against Bayern Munich right now. They could easily be the top seed going in there. Here's where it gets a little bit interesting. Liverpool, Tottenham, Newcastle, and Chelsea are in the top 8 as well. That's 5 of the 6 teams. The one that's on the outside looking in right now is Manchester
Man
City.
City.
They
Man
take
City.
on Galatasaray this afternoon.
I know.
So, so we got a lot. PSG and I believe it's PSG and Newcastle taking on each other. One of those teams could fall out of the top 8.
Mhm. Yeah.
Barcelona may have something to say about it. You know, Sporting CP from Portugal may have something to say about that as well. Atletico Madrid, they could possibly. I mean, right now that group from 13 all the way up through 6, all equal at 13 points apiece.
Oh my.
So it's going to be a very interesting day. All 18 games are being played at the same time. So
Yes, it's a
my
lot.
question to you is how many Premier League teams are going to be in the top 8 when this is done?
Well, the saving grace if Newcastle beat PSG, but hey, PSG is the defending champion. It could be a draw or a Man City win. And by the way, if you look at the top 8, this shows how the Premier League still best in the world with the strength of all 6 clubs, with the exception of Man U outside looking in the top 8.
So let's look at the other Premier League opponents. Napoli taking on Chelsea at, I already mentioned PSG and Newcastle. Tottenham, they'll be taking on Frankfurt. Frankfurt out of the running right now as far as making even the punishment round. And Liverpool will be taking on Qarabag or Karabag F, and that should be a walk in the park for them. Karabag, I'm looking at where they're standing right now. Actually, they're in the 18th position right now, 2 points ahead of last play or 24th place Olympiacos. So this could be a game for them, in which if they lose, they could end up being on the outside looking in.
I know, and it's gonna be a wild one. Thank God you get the Golato channel that's gonna
Oh, it's
follow
gonna be a fun day
everything.
on that. I'm
It's
gonna probably do like one or the other. I'll have like the Man City game on one, and then watch the Golazo channel for the other games.
oh my, it's gonna be a kind of wild one. And don't forget, the Europa League also is doing their last game day. Once again, all 18 games are, and Chelsea, they're in 24th
Or
place.
Celtic.
Yeah, Celtic. Oh, once again,
Chelsea's in the Champions League.
Celtic is in 24th place after the quote being up and down. Now it's win or get in. That's all they have to do. If they beat their opponent, I got my notes here. If they beat FC Yurekateka, how far these names are a little confusing, man. Every time, Bobo Golem was a little bit difficult. If they win, they're in. You don't have to worry about anything. But if you draw, hope you pray for them to trip up. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you look at it. Lucas, Rosgard, Feyenoord, Basel are in Salzburg. Trying to think here. Go Ahead Eagles, FCSB. Those are the other teams that are in that danger zone right there. Rangers, they can't catch them, so they're eliminated.
You have to be happy for that. Rangers, who is now number 2. Oh, brother, I have a
you have a thing coming up. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that right now. A little thing we call sorry, not sorry. I've got a lot of problems with you people, and you're gonna hear about it.
Just brother.
And to open things up in this edition of Sorry Not Sorry, Steve, what do you have to complain about this week?
This game was not on television, not on Paramount Plus, it was a redemption game for Celtic. against Hearts. Remember the downfall of William Nancy? Only lasted 8 games and 33 days. The dropout point was their home game against Hearts of Millington. And that was a bad day. 3 days later, Nancy, goodbye. Well, I was hoping for redemption. They faced on Hearts of Millington at their home stadium. And it was looking good. Ben Nalodra scored his league 11 goal. And then Stuart Finley hit a header on the ground to even up at 1. And then Celtic, oh my, a great go-ahead feed pass to Han Jong-yo at the 67-minute to be in 2-1. And then a questionable call in the 77th minute. Oh my God. Austin Trusty got a red card for a questionable trip outside the box. Maybe danger trip. He was first shown a yellow card, but they had to look at VAR. Was it severe? And was severe, so he got a raspberry. Celtic held on for dear life. And then in the 87th minute, Claudio Borgad for Hearts scored the pass to even it up 2-2. That's how it ended. And we don't get no redemption for Hart after that horrible home game against Hart at Celtic home park. And then it made worse that Rangers won over Dundee United 3-0. That means they're now 4 points behind Hearts. We're 6 points behind in third place. Hoping for redemption, but it ended in disappointment. That's my mild. Sorry, not sorry. They should have won it, but.
And then you look at the Champions League thing that they had the week before or the weekend before that got them into the precarious position that they have now in Europa League. I said Champions League, my bad. The position that they had in Europa League, where they had a lead too. They also had a red card in that game as well.
And they blew it. And they
ended up drawing that one.
I know.
They're getting themselves into trouble right now, and I understand, as we know, the defense is not all that great right now. Kasper Schmeichel, I mean, no matter what, I look at it this way with goalkeepers. If you don't have your goalkeepers are usually as good as the defense that you put in front of them, and right now, Celtic doesn't have much of a defense.
I agree with you after, brother.
So hopefully they'll get everything straightened out as far as
And by the way,
maybe it'll start tomorrow. Maybe it'll start today.
Yeah, and by the way, we only have 3 months to go in the Scottish Premier League, and like I said, they have to keep it up because remember. The championship season is 5 games against the top 5 clubs, unlike in the other league against the bottom 5 clubs, so. And no crossover, by the way. Thank God for that.
Right.
That's my mild sorry, not sorry. Couldn't find a subject, so don't want to repeat myself. So.
Well, this week, I'm going to call it right now.
Go ahead.
I'm going to call it right now.
All right.
There's mild talk, about a possible quadruple for Chelsea. Or not Chelsea, for Arsenal this year.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
There we go with Chelsea again.
I'm confused. I'm confusing 2 London sides. No, there's been talk about a possible quadruple for Arsenal. You know what? I'm going to say it right here now. They're going to bottle the Premier League once again.
You mean tank the Premier League
They're
while
going to bottle it once again.
Oh.
The thing is with Arteta, he doesn't have a kill or not a kill switch. He doesn't have, let's just say how do I say it? The finishing move. Pep Guardiola, his mentor, he knows about the finishing move. He's done that quite a few times. He's done that 4 times in a row. Twice at the hands of Arsenal. And it comes to show you, though, he doesn't have enough. He doesn't have a finishing move. He gets to this point, leads the league for some odd reason. They go up like 8 to 10 points or whatever it is at some point in the season, even before the Christmas break. After the Christmas break happens, disaster sets in. And whether it be injuries or just poor performances on the field or losing games that they shouldn't be losing to, a.k.a. against Man United last Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, he's been known to be famous for that. And coming up for Arsenal, I'm gonna look at Arsenal's schedule real quick here. I am gonna look at Arsenal's schedule real quick.
Who are they?
So here's what Arsenal has got coming up. They got Leeds at Ellen Road, tough place to play. Then they take on Chelsea in the EFL Cup. They should win that. They should win that in the Moose Cup. They should win that one. Then they take on Sunderland at home. Sunderland's been kind of surprising, but I think they're falling off the schneid a little bit. Brentford at on the road and another London derby right there. They have Tottenham coming up. This is all Premier League now. Tottenham should be a win. The North London derby right there. Will Tottenham be up for this one? And there's been a lot of questions about Thomas Frank as far as that goes. Everton coming up. The big key game, Saturday, April 18th. Man City at the Etihad.
Oh, my.
Yes, they've got that. Man City comes away with that. You can write everything off, because out of those, there's bound to be a time where they're going to end up even dropping a point. They also have a derby against Chelsea coming up at home at the Emirates on March 1st. So there's possibilities there where they could drop points and Man City could take advantage of it, and then Man City could knock them off the perch in April. So there's that possibility there. You also got to look for Aston Villa. Villa's not going to be playing them anytime soon. In fact, I think Villa has already played them twice, I believe, already. Villa came away with a 2-1 victory. Or no, this was back in December. They played December 6th, and so they were even 1-1 on their with their battle this year. Now, the last time Man City and Arsenal played each other, you have to go way back into September. 1-1 draw at the Emirates.
Oh, my.
Man City's a little bit different now, as far as the defensive side of the ball is concerned. So we shall see what happens. That's going to be a key pivotal game. But judging the history from Chelsea in the past, there could be like 1 or 2 games there where they could drop points, and either Villa or Man City could take advantage of it and hop above them in the table. So I have a gut feeling that quadruple's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Now I'm not predicting anything in the Champions League, and we should all know the cup competitions. They're another whole thing in general. But as far as the Premier League goes, you ain't gonna see Chelsea's hands on the trophy this year.
Okay. Yeah, and the quadruple, by the way, if you want to know, that the League Cup, the Premier League, FA Cup, European Cup, Champion League, and one other cup.
You said, or did you say FA? Oh, the Moose Cup.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yep, and they're alive in all four competitions right now.
All right. That will be
So,
very,
so, and
very.
I'm not going to say they're going to they're. I'm not going to say they're going to bottle the quad. I'm
Uh-huh.
not saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying they're bottling the Premier League,
I see.
and that's the most important one out of all those cups.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Well, fun show today. A
Yes,
lot of
it was.
developing soccer news and all that. So, just don't want to let you know that Detroit City FC ladies team not playing this week after playing our impromptu game against Youngstown Nighthawk on Saturday. If you went to the MASL website, they have listed still the game against Indiana. That's not happening. The next game, by the way, will be down there, Louisville Triumph, in 2 weeks.
And then we will be. That should be a good one because you're going to look at it's going to be a first place battle when you look at it between the top team of the Great Lakes North and the top team of the Great Lakes South. And
Yeah, and I'm going to say that could be a
on.
great game.
Yeah,
That could be a great game. So
should be. I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be
uh, uh,
another one of those tests for those ladies.
I know it's going to be one of those bangers right here in Detroit. You get your tickets at Detroit City FC. If you can't be at the game,
Passage.com, I believe.
yeah. And by the way, if you want to, if you can't be down there at the game, we will. The game will be shown on Detroit City FC YouTube channel.
And
So,
before that game, make sure you're tuning in to Soccer Night in Detroit. We will have the preview before the match and join us after the match as well for after hours.
and by the way, I will be debuting my second T-shirt I got at the recent garage sale. By the way,
Very
nice
nice.
one.
Very nice. So
So
all
that's it.
right.
I hope you're buckling in your area. My area, it's cold tonight. What else is new?
I'll be chicken noodle soup inverters. That's what I'm dealing with.
I already had my chicken noodle. I have bottled water with some juice packed in it, so I'm good. I'm good.
So chicken noodle, Dayquil, and inverters. That's what I'm running on right now.
Okay.
So, but alrighty, that's it for another episode of the Musings. We will talk to you again next week or next Wednesday. For Steve over in Hamtramck.
Thank you very much. Stay warm. Be careful out there. Wear proper coating and be good on your travel.
Absolutely. And as Matt Cat here in the Hacienda saying, keep your feet on the ground, keep reaching for the galaxy, and most of all, be good.